Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, David, the Wolf Boy of Dimension 76. I hope you enjoyed my retrospective on Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. So, here's my second in my Sonic TV retrospective series on Sonic SatAM, or as it's known as, Sonic the Hedgehog. But before I get started on it, I just want to say that I'm starting to lose interest in reviewing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, because I don't know why, I just lost interest. Plus, Thor Love and Thunder is coming out in a few weeks, so it feels kind of pointless. But Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is one of my favorite films of the year, but it doesn't top Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Just wanted to give that quick update out of the way before I begin talking about this show here. Anyway. Fans of Sonic the Hedgehog should recognize that tune in an instant. And yes, I'm kind of a show-off when it comes to whistling. Zowie. Anyway, that's the theme song to Sonic the Hedgehog, the fastest thing alive. This show aired right around the same time as Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't remember the exact dates, but yes, this show is a lot darker and more serious than Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, while Sonic the Hedgehog was not Sonic the Hedgehog. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was just crazy and zany to the max, and Nostalgia Critic hated it. So do some other people who don't really care for the stuff that was in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, I made my point about Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, what I thought of it, my memories with it. But Sonic SatAM is something else entirely in terms of 90s shows. Now, I didn't really grow up with Batman the Animated Series or the X-Men Animated Series or any of that, but I was more of a SpongeBob, Kim Possible, Proud Family kind of guy. Yeah. And also Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron. Don't get me started on that live-action Fairly Odd Parents Paramount Plus show. I am staying the fuck away from it. Alright, so just like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog before it, Sonic the Hedgehog, the TV series, stars Jaleel White as Sonic, as the fastest thing alive. It also stars Bradley Pierce as Tails. Oh, fun fact about Bradley Pierce. He actually played Chip in Beauty and the Beast. And he actually played the younger brother of Kristen Dunst in Jumanji with Bonnie Hunt and Robin Williams. Yeah, Jumanji. That was another fun one. Right, trying to remember who else is in it. Sally Acorn, of course. Sonic's love interest in this show and the Archie comics. Bunny Rabbot. Yeah. It wasn't my idea. Don't blame me for making that. I mean, Bunny Rabbot, that's actually her name. Even Nostalgia Critic hates that joke, too. So, Bunny Rabbot is voiced by Christine Cavanaugh, voice of Chucky in Rugrats, and she passed away December 22nd of 2014. I know, sad. But it doesn't say how it happened, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Rob Paulson as Antoine. Seriously, Rob Paulson has range. He can go from Carl Weezer to Yakko Water. He's just one of the best cartoon voices in the history of cartoon voices. Like, you recognize his voice in an instant. Like, you could literally close your eyes, watch a random cartoon, put a blindfold on, and the moment you heard Rob Paulson's voice, you would immediately know it's him. That's how recognizable it is. Same with Jim Cummings. And Jim Cummings is Robotnik. For some reason, he's Julian Robotnik and not Ivo Robotnik. Don't ask me. But Jim Cummings as Robotnik is just one of the best things about this show. He's just portrayed as a tyrannical overlord, turning a bunch of innocent civilians into robots with his roboticizer. Now, that's something that Sonic Forces could have done. As much as I enjoyed playing Sonic Forces, there were some issues with the story. And classic Sonic's controls. And Robotnik's minion is named Snively. And for some reason, it's not Agent Stone. Sorry, Force a Habit for referencing Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 from Paramount. So, anyway. Not Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog! I am going to confuse the shit out of those shows. Sonic the Hedgehog takes place on Mobius, a planet mostly populated by anthropomorphic animals. The kingdom of Acorn, based within the city of Metropolis, was at war with an unseen enemy. King Acorn recruited a human scientist named Julian to build war machines to end the war with a victory. However, during peacetime, Julian and his nephew Snively launched a coup d'etat against the kingdom. The king is banished to another dimension called the Void, and the citizens are captured and transformed into robot slaves through a machine called the Roboticizer. Julian renames himself as Dr. Robotnik, now the ruthless dictator of Mobius. Mobotropolis is renamed Robotropolis, a polluted industrial cityscape. That's where I got the idea for Mobotropolis University, which is where the Golden Eagles base takes place, and also where Sonic went to college. Robotnik finds himself at odds with a small collective group called the Freedom Fighters, who operate out of the hidden woodland village of Knothole. Yes, Knothole Village. Again, that's where I got the idea for Sonic and Sonic's home address, 76 Knothole Drive. Yes, you're learning something from this retrospective, aren't you? I'm glad you are. Just thought I'd list some fun facts about my series and where I got inspiration for the Sonic and Sonic series. Yeah, the Golden Eagles versus the Dark Brotherhood of Solaris were mostly inspired by the Freedom Fighters from Sonic SatAM. Also, a bit of Harry Potter as well, because anybody knows me, knows that I'm a huge Harry Potter fan and a Harry Potter nerd, and I geek out over anything Harry Potter related. And this is coming from a bona fide Ravenclaw. Yes, I looked it up on Pottermore. I am a Ravenclaw. You probably didn't need to know that, and I apologize. Let's see here. They are led by Sonic the Hedgehog and Princess Sally Acorn, King Acorn's sole heir. Other members include Sonic's best friend, Miles Tails Prower, computer genius Rotor, French Coyote Antoine. Yeah, Antoine the French guy. I could easily do a French accent. And I know Lance... Yeah, there's a character I voice named Lance who's kind of like a French jackal. And he hates it when people give him random stereotypes. I mean, there's that character in a show I've been watching on Amazon Prime called The Boys. There's a character named Frenchie, and he's got a French accent. And he's probably one of the best characters on The Boys, aside from Huey, Billy Butcher, Starlight. But fuck Homelander! Yeah, that's a different show. Anyway. Half-roboticized bunny Rabbot, and Dulcie the Dragon. And there's one episode of this show that kind of stood out for me where Sonic actually teams up with his younger self in what I sometimes like to call the early days of Sonic and Sonic. I mean, not exactly, but older Sonic in that particular episode. Was it 2 episodes, I want to say? Yeah, 2 episodes, that sounds about right. Where he says, Juice, call me Juice. And there's also some other sayings, like, let's do it to it. I don't remember if it was this show or Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog where Sonic said it, but yeah. And Sonic just loves the shit out of chili dogs. In fact, when he goes supersonic, he could just summon one out of the sky and have it land on Knuckles' face. I am spoiling the shit out of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Shame on you, David! Shame on you! Be quiet, Sonic. Alright, well, Sonic uses the power rings to gain a temporary boost in power. Well, Sonic X actually borrows that concept for their little rings that Sonic sometimes likes to hold in Sonic X. So, rings serve different purposes all across Sonic media. In the games, it just has him. They're like collecting up points and maintaining health. In this show, and Sonic X, they give Sonic a temporary boost of power. In some games, they're actually currency, while in the movies, they're just Doctor Strange sling rings. Get you from point A to point B without a passport or a plane ticket. Oh yeah, Blast to the Past. That's a 2-part episode. Both the rings and the robot stars were designed by Sonic's Uncle Chuck, one of the victims of the machine. Yeah. We actually see Sonic's Uncle Chuck in this show, who unfortunately turns into a robot himself. And this is probably one of the saddest scenes in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise as a whole. Yeah, a lot of the TV shows have some pretty sad moments, but there's some touching moments in games, too. I'm trying to think of some. I know there's Shadow Sacrifice at the end of Sonic Adventure 2. And the fate of Gamma in Sonic Adventure. There were some moments in Sonic Lost World, I want to say, that kind of made me all weepy. Probably when Amy and Knuckles were trapped on the Earth while the Deadly Six were sucking up all the energy. Sonic looked like he was about to cry, but he didn't. Now I'm going to be remaking my project based on Sonic Lost World probably sometime next year. Whether Sega decides to re-release that game or not. Yeah, Sonic uses the power ring to restore Uncle Chuck's free will with his mechanical body. Now that, I just love. I just love it. And Chuck decides to act as a spy for the Freedom Fighters, operating from within the city. He is eventually discovered by Robotnik in the 2nd season and escapes to Naho. Yeah, there are 2 seasons, and they run for 26 episodes. I know what you're thinking. Bruh, 26 episodes? That's not a very long show. Well, they were gonna go a little bit longer, but somebody had to pull the plug on the show. Did I say pull the plug? I meant yank the plug. Like, the show ended on a cliffhanger, and they said, nope, it's canceled. Fuck you, goodbye. See you in the next show. But yeah, a lot of the art styles in Sonic the Hedgehog SatAM, they're just dark and gloomy, and I just love it. And it makes me regret not watching Batman the Animated Series. There are so many 90s Saturday morning cartoons I missed out on. Like I said, I was mostly into Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, Kim Possible. Those were shows I grew up with. As for this show, I've actually seen it on YouTube right around the same time I saw Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Want to say it was either 2012, 2013, 2014, somewhere around that range. It was definitely before Sonic Boom aired its first episode in 2014. So, as for what streaming platforms this show is currently on, it is on Amazon Prime Video with a premium subscription and Paramount Plus, just like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog before it. How much do you want to bet Sonic Underground is also on Paramount Plus? Just look up Sonic Underground real quick. Yes, Sonic Underground is on Paramount Plus. Same with Amazon Prime Video. But yes, what I love about this show is how it's darker and more serious than Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Plus, it's overall a much better show than Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was too lighthearted and too aimed at younger kids. Well, this one was aimed at older kids. I mean, not older, as in high school or college or old enough to drink, old enough to drive, old enough to watch R-rated movies. No. I meant, you know how video games, there's E for everyone and E10 for ages 10 and up? I would have to say that Sonic SatAM is the rated E10, while the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is just aimed at little kids. It tries to be educational, but it just doesn't really come off all that great, if I am to be perfectly honest. I even heard Nostalgia Critic say that it was kind of influenced by Star Wars, and I can totally see that. With the evil Empire taking over, and a bunch of rebels, freedom fighters, fighting to take back what's rightfully theirs. Sonic Forces did the same thing with the Resistance, but I honestly prefer the freedom fighters over the Resistance in Sonic Forces. And yes, a lot of these same characters appear in the Archie comics, and the Archie comics expand on this setting a bit more with the freedom fighters, with Sally, Antoine, Rotor, Bunny Rabbot. It's just that I've never really read any Archie comics. I've read some IDW comics, but not Archie. But there was one time where I was strolling through the supermarket, and I came across a Archie comic book, and I decided to, out of sheer boredom, read it in a Sean Connery voice. And that's where I came up with the name Sonic. As for the full design of Sonic, I just watched a few trailers for Sonic Generations back in 2011, and that's how I decided to give Sonic black eyes, and have him basically be classic Sonic. So yes, Sonic the Hedgehog SatAM. One of the best, if not the best, Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon in the early 90s. I just love everything about this. The chemistry between the characters, the development, the emotional weight, and how fast Sonic goes. The opening theme song, which is iconic. Like, years later, people would be singing and whistling it, just like how I whistled it like a few minutes ago. Again, I'm a show off when it comes to whistling. Ah, sometimes they come out and sometimes they don't, so bear with me. Thank you. Had to get that whistle out of my system. So yes, Sonic SatAM. What are your thoughts on this show? Let me know in the comments below, and stay tuned next time for my retrospective on Sonic OVA. Well, that's technically not necessarily a TV show per se. It's more of a movie. Like a 1 hour movie, I want to say. I guess you'll have to see it when I upload it, whenever that may be. So, until then, this is your friendly neighborhood wolf boy, David, with my retrospective on Sonic SatAM, and stay tuned next time for my retrospective on Sonic OVA. And after that, oh boy, Sonic Underground. I am honestly dreading talking about Sonic Underground. But I still have one more video to cover before I'm gonna be able to talk about Sonic Underground. With that said, I'll see you all next time.